Children living in the world's inner cities face problems on a scale that most of us can never imagine. From early in life, they are told that the world is dark, dangerous, hopeless, that there are no other options. Metro World Child exists to speak a different message into the lives of these children. Metro is a global faith-based organization created with the purpose of seeing leaders, teachers, and pastors raised up out of the streets so they can minister to the next generation in New York City and around the world. Metro serves nearly 100,000 inner-city children across the globe every week. We offer a message of hope, speak truth through the love of Christ, build relationships, and meet physical needs. Join us as we break cycles, put lives on new paths, rewrite stories. Metro World Child, providing hope, building futures. To find out more, visit metroworldchild.org.
Penny Hollenbeck is the executive director of Metro World Child, the faith-based humanitarian organization that will join us for a second night across the LeSEA Broadcasting Network to share what God is doing in the inner city worldwide. Welcome back to the Harvest Show, Penny.
Thank you.
Every time I see you, I just want to say thank you for the work that you're doing. I mean, that was an amazing video sharing with us what Metro World Child is doing. Before we get started, let's talk about the founder of Metro World Child, Pastor Bill Wilson.
Pastor Bill, yes.
What's he up to? How's he doing? He's a sharpshooter. He's everywhere for Jesus.
Just a little, right?
Yeah.
Pastor Bill is actually on the road and always traveling. He's traveling much more internationally. So we've expanded. You know, I've been at Metro now since 2003. And when I got there, we were only ministering to kids in New York City and about 200 kids in the Philippines. And now doors have opened worldwide. And we are now reaching over 150,000 children a week internationally.
Wow. And those are real numbers.
Those are, yes, those are actual numbers.
Because
we actually get the attendance and, actual numbers.
And I know that, I'm sure it follows the pattern of what happens at Metro in New York City, where it's more than, I mean, those kids they're loved. They're not just preached to or helped, you know, in a tangible physical way, which is absolutely important. Right. But man, it's such love that there's a connection with those kids week after week.
They get home visitation, the kids in New York. So we base that model international and to go into, and it's sometimes a little difficult. You know, the Philippines, the kids live in the garbage dumps, but we still make an effort to go there. I think one of the amazing things that's happened in the past year and a half is Kenya's opened up to us. We actually are in the school systems in Nakuru, Kenya, which is the second largest city. 65,000 kids a week here are in our program through the school system.
And they're hearing the gospel and they're growing in Christ.
Absolutely.
Wow.
So do you use the same model, the same concept in New York City that you use around the world?
Actually, we do. We actually write our own curriculum for the Sunday school lessons. We send them international. They tweak them, you know, based on the little characters that are pertinent to the kids over there. But yeah, it's the same program.
Okay, so like, I remember reporting on Metro World Child. I don't even remember if we even called it. All I knew is Sidewalk Sunday School.
Yeah. Yes, Yogi Bear.
in New York City. And so you really are making that impact. And you joined us here across the network. What are you doing now?
Yes, now we're raising money and funds for Operation Holiday Hope. Christmas time, obviously, is our largest evangelistic outreach. Our attendance actually doubles at Christmas time. And the kids know, you know, you have to come to Sunday school to receive a gift. So in New York City, we provide obviously toys for the kids. But then in Kenya, the kids don't need toys. In the Philippines, they live in a dump, they don't need toys. They need a meal. So we provide a meal. Romania is I think, one of our best projects. We provide boots and socks to the gypsy kids in Romania. So that's what we're doing. We did that last night here on LeSEA, and we'll be doing that tonight and sharing some stories.
And what's the goal this year for Operation Holiday Hope?
Okay, last year we had over 204, the actual number was 204,000 children
Wow.
were in our Christmas weekend. So this year, of course, you know, with Pastor Bill.
Yeah. Let's double it.
Yeah, they keep pushing the envelope. Yeah, that was very good, Stefan. That sounded like him. So it's now we're pushing for 250, 250,000 kids this year.
Praise God.
So is it easy to get in on the ground in those countries? I mean, are those leaders open to Metro World Child coming in and
A lot of
reaching
them are, yeah.
with the gospel, though?
Absolutely, yeah. And Pastor Bill goes over and he'll speak, and you know, he's kind of you guys know. I mean, Dr. Summerall was the same way. They knock down doors, and they just kind of get their way in, and yeah, that's how it gets started. And then we find nationals. Sometimes we'll bring them to New York to get trained. We have an internship program in New York, and then we send them back, and they run the program.
Yeah, talk about that for a minute, because there are thousands and thousands and thousands of young people that have come through, young and old, to serve and volunteer and go through the boot camp and be a part of it and give their lives to reach the next generation.
We
for
have
Christ.
boot camp, which is a week program, but then we have our internship, which is 4 months, every fall and every spring. Anybody can sign up for it. Normally it's young people, but you actually get involved. That's Pastor Bill's bus.
I was going to say, he's still driving bus 12?
Of course he. Now you already know the answer to that question. Of course he's driving.
He's going to drive that bus until Jesus returns or he calls him
He drives
home.
that bus and then he runs to he's at LaGuardia every Saturday afternoon. You can track him down. But yeah, the interns get involved. So it's on the job training basically.
Okay, so Penny, but this is not pretty ministry. This is a sacrifice.
No.
Pastor Bill has told us sometimes the danger. I mean, I think he was even shot one time.
Shot,
He was
stabs.
shot, yes.
I mean,
Bricks thrown on his head.
So,
Yes.
I mean, put it in context for us what these volunteers are doing to reach other people.
I mean, actually, they go into the homes. You know, they go into the projects. So you have these young kids going into the projects at 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the afternoon to knock on doors, and you get confronted with a lot of different things. I think one of the amazing things and the way God protects us is Metro has been there now since 1980. So people understand what we're there for, and even if somebody kind of hassles some of our people, usually the neighborhood will step in.
There's a lot of respect.
There is a lot of respect.
Yeah, you
yes,
truly
absolutely.
do have street credibility.
Yes, that is
because you're
true.
out there working. So now, our viewers watching today, how can they help you guys?
Well, for Operation Holiday Hope, simple $10 gift. We'll provide a gift for a child anywhere in the world. So they can go to operationholidayhope.org to give, or watch tonight. I'll be on live at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
And there'll be some great stories last night as well, just, you know, really getting into seeing the lives of these kids and the impact
Absolutely.
that Operation Holiday Hope has in the long term. You've been with the ministry for 11, well, how many years?
14 years.
14 years now.
Feels like forever.
Just what was a highlight moment? What's one of the many, I'm sure, highlight moments for you of where you really just saw the power of this simple ministry?
I think the first impact that it had on me, I came as a visitor. You know, Pastor Bill, come to New York and see what we're doing. Yeah, okay. I'm not moving to New York City. I made that clear right from the get-go to him and the Lord, right? But I went and I rode one of the buses, one of our staff member, her name is Cherry. I rode her bus, and she picks up kids from a shelter. It was a battered women's shelter. And I'll never forget these 2 little boys. They were probably maybe 6 and 8 years old, and of course she sat me with them. And the thing that struck me was the 2 little boys that got on the bus at the shelter versus the 2 little boys that came out of Sunday school and got on the bus. Totally different little boys. I mean, the boys that came out of Sunday school were just alive and happy, and you could just tell they enjoyed it, but they understood that the love of God, and God was protecting them because you're living in a shelter. Your mom's hiding from somebody. And that was the first moment that I felt the impact of the ministry.
And I'd imagine also that you have kids who start off in the ministry, needing the ministry, then grow up and volunteer, because it's been around long enough for those same kids to now work with Metro World
It's so
Child.
true. Last night on one of the videos, we showed a gentleman named Willie Perez, who is now running our Sunday school program. And he'll point to the bleachers, same building, and I remember I sat right there. And then another gal named Marlene, who rode Pastor Bill's bus ever since she was 5 years old. Now she's a New York City school teacher. and she also is involved in the ministry. So yeah, we have a lot of stories like that.
Some awesome work you're doing here. And be sure to watch across the LeSEA Broadcasting Network, Metro World Child, to connect with Penny or to give to the ministry. Remember, they're asking for $10, but if you have more than 10, give it. Go to metroworldchild.org or go to harvest-tv.com. Coming up later, your prayer request. But up next, Brian Bush with the latest news from Israel. We'll be right back.